German set up a sniper's rifle and aimed it at the unarmed woman, who had noticed the soldiers not far away. After checking that there was no danger, Paul approached the woman and asked her to help him unlock the hinges. Although he didn't speak the language, after a few gestures, the woman seemed to understand him and went into the thatched hut to help him pick out the tools. At that moment, Paul accidentally found a Soviet army hat in the water basin, and a sense of unease washed over him. He looked around alertly and then picked up his gun and rushed in, and sure enough, he found a wounded Soviet veteran here. The atmosphere in the room was tense at such close quarters, but the woman on the other side of the room didn't think so. She was as if the war had never happened, as if it were a paradise. The three of them spoke in different languages, and Paul said he was not a militant, but just wanted to hang on to his chains and go home. And so the three strangers lived in a paradise where the woman did all the laundry and the man did all the heavy lifting, and it was a wonderful life. Over time, the woman fell in love with the energetic Paul, who was not only handsome, but also had 8-pack abs and, most importantly, loved to be clean. But this also aroused Ivan's competitive spirit, so he prepared a pot of mushroom soup for the woman. Seeing that the other side looks disgusted, Ivan's heart is a little hurt, so he began to recite poetry to express his love, but the woman did not understand a word of it. Paul also prepared a bath, and the two men went into the sauna one after the other, saying one thing to each other that they didn't understand anyway. Suddenly, the woman came in and handed them Scandinavian bath towels. Then her eyes wandered back and forth between the two men and finally settled on the younger, stronger Paul. This made Ivan, who was older, very frustrated, as he had to sleep in a haystack every day. After a long time, Ivan couldn't stand this life and decided to leave this sad place, but the woman didn't understand what she meant and thought she was going out for a break. Poor Ivan looked back as he walked, fantasizing that the woman would come to stay, but the reality was so bleak that one thought she wouldn't leave and the other thought she would stay. It wasn't long before Ivan spotted a few enemy soldiers in the woods and, outnumbered, he rushed back to call for help.